Okay, guys. Hi. So I'm doing a lot of videos today. Your mom's been drinking. This is like a drunk history of Frankenstein. So I consider myself a Frankenstein scholar, but kind of a shitty one because I haven't read it since grad school, probably. But I want you to see all the books that I have read to do with Frankenstein. Because I am a Frankenstein scholar. I'll need that later. I like to buy multiple copies of the book. Don't even know why the receipt's still in there. Whew, from the book rack. Because I like reading the prologues. Because they all have a different history and point and information. And like, I used to think that prologues were pointless. But there's so much information in them, especially if you're a scholar. Oh my god. I might keep this book because the cover is, we'll keep it handy. Why are the sorrows of young Werther with my Frankenstein books? I mean, I used it for something, but it's going over there. Apparently there's a plate over there. Again, multiple copies. Because the prologues are amazing. The Mad Woman in the Attic. Have not read all of it. If you think I have, you crazy. Okay, so the best advice one of my professors gave me. You guys, I said earlier in my videos that the more you drink alcohol, the better it tastes. Because, you know, when you've been drinking, then you get drunk and then things don't taste as bad. Rosé does not get better with drinking. It still tastes just as bad. Why do people like rosé? It tastes way too close to rubbing alcohol. Okay. So no, I haven't read all of this. One of my professors told me that if you need to skim things and take what you can get from it, because it's impossible to read everything in general, but more so for grad school. So no, I haven't read all of that. I've read parts, looked through the chapters, bam, monster show. Not even sure if I even read any of this, but I bought a bunch of them for my independent study on Frankenstein. So that's there. Whoop! We got another copy of Frankenstein. Again, prologues. Don't even remember this one. Must have read it. It says it was like $4 though, so totally worth it. Oh, this cover's awesome too! We're gonna set that one aside as well. Is this a comic? Nope. It just has a really effing cool introduction. We're gonna set that over there too. Oh, Women at the Movies. I don't know if I use this for my master's or for my bachelor's, but it's there. Okay, so if you guys want to know how I read, see this? Do you see that? That's how my mind works. Alright, it's like having 87,000 tabs open on a computer. I work multiple jobs, I do multiple things, I write multiple books at the same time, I read multiple books at the same time. I can't be bored. I'm not really sure what boredom is. I know what depression is, but I'm not sure what boredom is. So I read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, of which the first edition I like to refer to as Percy Shelley's Frankenstein, because her husband helped her compile it and edit it. Because, you know, back then, you know, women, fuck you don't know what you're talking about, you can't be writers, you can't vote and things and stuff. Damn, I got a B in, oh no, this is B unit. Thank God, I thought I got a B. It's so frustrating. I'm an A student, guys. I'm smart. I know things. Oh, I think I like this one. Is this the one that has... No. There's... Well, maybe. Yes, this is the one. Okay. So, I love this book. Let me see if I have it. I have it tabbed. This has different perspectives. So, like, this has a critical history of Frankenstein. And so, it has different takes, whether it's on gender. There's a psychoanalysis, criticism, narcissists. A psychoanalytical perspective by David Collins. I somewhat remember that. The feminist criticism and Frankenstein. I mean, this one is my favorite. I love it for all the contextual information in the back. Okay, so I'm going to give you my drunk and really long ago, because I haven't read Frankenstein history. Now, mind you, I'm a published author. I published My Post Life and Pretty Much Poems by Stephanie Hoover and illustrated by Liz Van Thiemsch. Now goes by Liz Lane. She sounds like a superhero, and she is. She's amazing. She is my soulmate. So I'm going to write a modern adaptation. Wait. Appropriation. I did a study. This is what I learned in studying Frankenstein, is that the difference between adaptations and appropriations. So, an adaptation is similar to the source text. The source text being generally the book or the play or whatever the original source is that you are taking it to another medium into. And a medium is like whether it's a book or a play or a movie or a TV show, etc. So most people think that everything is an adaptation. Adaptations are close to the source text. Very close, slight deviations. What most things are appropriations. Appropriations are when you're like, so I'm going to take the whole monster and scientist thing and I'm totally going to fuck up the story and like make it my own, and it's not even going to be the same thing really. So like, I'm going to call Frankenstein the monster and just like fucking confuse everybody, because that's what I do. That's what an appropriation is. So what I'm doing is that I'm appropriating the story, or you could call it a modern adaptation, because I'm going to stay close to the source text, but I'm going to take it into today's world. So you decide if it's an adaptation or an appropriation. I'm going to stay close to the source text as far as the story and what happens, but I'm going to make it believable in our day and time. It's kind of a mix. Maybe I'll come up with a whole new fucking word, like adappropriation. Appropriation. No, I think I like the first one. Remind me what the first one is when I wake up tomorrow. Okay, so Frankenstein. First of all, the monster was never named, just so you guys know. And that was intentional or purposeful, or for you dummies, like for real on purpose. So the monster was never named. Think of it as like Sandra Bullock's The fucking Dumbass Bird Box, where she named the kids girl and boy because, you know, she didn't want to get attached to them and didn't want to blah blah whatever. That fucking movie was dumb as hell. It had potential, but it was dumb as hell. I need this in the picture so people know that I'm drinking. I mean, out of a coffee cup. I don't have any wine glasses up here. Classy as fuck. I mean, it's not a Yahtzee shaker, so like that's a thing. Classier. So no, I fucking argued this. No, it is not okay to call the monster Frankenstein. Mary Shelley did not name the monster on fucking purpose. Okay? Frankenstein is the scientist. His name is Victor Frankenstein. And the monster even argues that, like, God gave Adam a name. God, like, gave Adam a partner. And it was his creation. And he cared for him. I mean, you know, granted, like, he banished Adam and his girlfriend for fucking not following rules because he was, like, a shitty dad or whatever. But, like, that happens. But now, if you want to say that Frankenstein is the monster, that's correct. But the actual unnamed monster is not Frankenstein nor the monster. Basically, he's like a girlfriend who is like giving Victor a taste of his own medicine. Like, oh, you're gonna be fucking shitty douche. Like, you wanted this. You worked so hard for it. You claimed to care for it so much, and then you just fucking kick me to the curb as soon as you get what you want. Oh, fuck no. Like, you're not getting away with that bullshit. So it's like, you know, an angry girlfriend keying your car because you don't actually care about her, but you care about your car. And that's why girls do it, because you dudes generally care more about your possessions than you do about the girl and their feelings. So they hurt what you love because you hurt them and they loved you. Now, I will never damage a dude's property, but that's the psychology behind it. I have psychology degrees, and I was a behavior counselor and life coach and social worker and I read a lot of human behavior, and even though my degree was English, it was basically philosophy and human behavior, so. So, and by the way, in my bachelor's, when they asked what we thought about the book, I was like, dude, when Victor, like, creates the monster, and then the next day, he's like, oh, fuck, what did I do? Like, I shouldn't have done that. I immediately regret it. I'm just gonna roll over and just, like, not deal with this and hope it goes away. I was like, dude, I feel like that's, like, what most people feel like after one-night stands. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, when you got the wine shitty rosé goggles on, and you think you're making a good choice, and you wake up and you're like, oh, that was not a good choice. You know, like, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, same thing. Okay, so the book starts out with some dude. He's like a captain or something. What the fuck is his name? He, like, is writing letters to his sister, maybe, and like, he's going to look for, I don't know, the North Pole or some shit. Atlantic. Wait, this is the introduction, because Lord Byron's in there. We can talk about how Mary Shelley wrote this. That's good too. Wait, now I'm in the letters. Okay. What the fuck is that dude's name? Okay, so he's writing to Margaret, which I think is his sister. Walton. That's the dude's name. I'm gonna come up with that. It's fine. Okay, so Walton is, like, set out to sea. He doesn't fucking care if, like, people die and shit, because he's gonna discover things and stuff and be renowned and fucking Christopher Columbus and shit. Bless the Indians. So he's writing letters, I think his sister, about shit, and then, like, he comes across Victor Frankenstein, the scientist, who is not the monsters, you fucking idiots, ignorant idiots. He's like, oh, dude, like, you know, so I'm doing my thing. This fucking dude shows up, and I have a fucking man crush on him, totally in love with him, and I hear his story, and he seems super sad and shit. And so, blah, blah, blah. And then we get into chapter 1 where Victor's like fucking telling his story about how like his mom died giving birth to his brother, but he still loves his brother, so it's not like he blames him, but like he's obsessed with like giving life and bringing back life because his mom died, and he like, you know, was super attached to her, and it like devastated him and shit. So yeah, she died, and that was a bummer. Hey, did his dad return from Milan or Milan? Because my town's stupid, and over in Illinois they call it Milan, Illinois, and I was just joking, call it Milan, so whatever. Harmony was the soul of our companionship, and the diversity and contrast that substituted in our characters drew us nearer together. Oh, this is when he met Elizabeth. Okay, so get this shit. So Elizabeth is like his adopted sister that his parents found, and like her parents were super struggling and poor and shit, so like, we're gonna adopt you. But then like maybe his mom or fucking somebody was just like, hey, this is essentially your present, you're gonna marry your adopted sister one day. Shit was so weird back then. Although I can't even say back then, because I'm like Clueless, and what the fuck was that movie with Melissa Joan Hart? Like, I swear to God, in the like late 80s, early 90s, all the movies were about like people marrying their step siblings or like falling in love with their step siblings. And even though it's not blood, that shit's still weird. I mean, I'm in love with Paul Rudd, so I get it, but whatever. Like, let's not do that. I mean, my parents didn't adopt me a stepbrother so I could marry him one day. I guess that's their bad. Fucking who? Oh, Clairville. Clairville's Frankenstein's like BFF, and they go to school together, and blah blah. His parents wandered and traveled. Blah blah. Victor goes to school, gets obsessed with some like witchcrafty type fucking science that nobody takes seriously, but of course, because like nobody takes it seriously, that professor's like, dude, you're invested. Awesome. I'm gonna take you under my wing. He went to Ingolstadt. Ooh, he heathered to Ingolstadt, guys. He's talking about the day before resolved upon could arrive. The first misfortune of my life occurred, an omen, as it were, of my future misery. That's how I refer to my dating life. Fucking misfortune and misery. I will tell you guys motherfucking what. Okay. Yep. Mom wants Victor to marry Elizabeth. So that's weird. Elizabeth is played by Helena Bonham Carter. You know, she was, what's her fucking face in Harry Potter that killed Gary Oldman. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You Harry Potter fans. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, by the way, that Frankenstein, I think it's just called Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, that is the closest to being an adaptation of the films. James Whale, that director, and the writer, Balderstadt, whatever. Hold on. Let me put my mouse on this. I got it. I did a thing on the thing. Alright. We're gonna find Frankenstein. I've got Fight Club, guys. That's... Oh, wait. Was that Frankenstein? What is it? Oh, that's Frankenstein. Okay. So, see, I did a thing. I did a poster presentation on this. See? I can't see. Can you see? Okay, I'm gonna read it. It's like, it's a huge book. Okay, guys. Okay, so it's called The Monstrosity of the Modern Frankenstein. This is a good title, right? Okay, so in 1818, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. Prometheus. Then Richard Brinsley Peake in 1823 fucked that shit up, and he did a play called The Presumption or the Fate of Frankenstein. I have a picture of Thomas Potter Cook for fucking some reason that I can't remember. Okay, so then her book and that play got turned into a play by Peggy Webling, and she fucked up the Frankenstein monster thing. Like, she dressed them the same, and I think she called the monster Frankenstein and renamed Victor Frankenstein. I forget, unless it says on here. Hold on, let me look. I don't have my notes. I'd have to read my paper. But Peggy Webling fucked shit up. Not a fan. So then Universal Pictures was hardcore struggling to try and keep up with all of the other movie industries. So they decided to be known for horror, and they bought up all the horror films. So like the vampire one, Dracula, and Frankenstein, and something else. So Carl Laemmle Sr. and Carl Laemmle Jr. in 1928 and 1931 I was just like the junior was like, dude, we're gonna fix this shit. Gotta go with horror. They bought all those, so they bought the rights to Peggy Webling's shitty fucking play version of Mary Shelley's masterpiece and fucked shit up. And so then John L. Balderston in 1929 to 1931 based his Frankenstein script off Peggy Webling's shit play. And then they tried to make a fucking musical, a Frankenstein musical in 1931, and by Louis Klein did, and that shit did not go over well. Total tank. So then James Whale directed Frankenstein, which was a huge hit, and I can't figure out how to show you the picture. Do you see that one? I can't get my finger. That one. The picture, if you Google it, so by the title being Frankenstein over the monster's face, it confuses people and makes them think that Frankenstein is the monster. I mean, Victor Frankenstein's the monster, but the monster is not named Frankenstein. It's just not. And you can fucking argue any which way that you fucking want, but you're just fucking wrong. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, that was in 1931. That was just fucking shit. Even though it made it money. But it's just bullshit. So, then the bullshit that came out in 1935 was The Bride of Frankenstein, which was in the actual book, the book right there, where Victor, the monster was like, dude, fucking Adam had Eve, you need to make me a partner and I'll fucking leave you alone and quit killing people in your life. Spoiler alert. But, so Victor, made him a lady monster, and then, the monster was looking through the window because he was super fucking yeah, I have a POC, partner, PIC. Partner in crime. Fucking rosé. So bad. Okay, so, he was, super excited. Because he's a monster, he looked creepy excited, so happy that you're my partner. I don't know if you understood that. But fucking the monster looked creepy, and then Victor's like, oh, he's tricking me, and they're gonna take over the world and kill everybody, and just like the first time, this is a second horrible idea. So then he rips apart the lady monster right in front of the monster, which fucking pisses off the monster. He killed a bunch fucking more people. But so that's how the Bride of Frankenstein happens. And this is also my reaction to, like, creepy dudes who like me. Like, I'm just like, no. Okay. So then we get this dumb shit where people think that this is Frankenstein the monster, this dumb dude with bolts sticking out of his head who's like, oh, the monster. Rawr. Because in all fairness, Mary Shelley didn't write much about what the monster looked like or anything like that. So in all fairness, fucking James Whale in the costume and fucking makeup department had to figure some shit out. They probably went off of Peggy Webling's dumb shit too. And that's how we got the dumb shit like the 1994 De Niro one, and then the super sexy monster played by fucking whatever his super sexy name was in 2014. God, what movie was he in? So then you're like, oh, a sexy monster. Rawr. Also, there are really fucking weird ass movies like Frankenhooker. That's a thing. Like, I swear to God. Frankenstein has been appropriated into so many fucking weird things. I couldn't watch them all. It's madness. So, okay, back to the book. Because that was my poster presentation. So, you're welcome. So, Victor's, like, ridiculed. And all that shit. Because he's, like, they consider the science that he's looking into to kind of be witchcraft. So whatever. Oh, what is this? You come to us now to share a misery which nothing can alleviate. What's going on here? I'll just turn the page. Whatever. It's fine. Okay, so basically Victor fucking is over at school trying to figure out how to bring life back to the dead, right? And so he fucking goes and, like, gets a bunch of dead body parts and puts them together. They did, like, an homage to this in American Horror Story with fucking super gorgeous face. His name was Tate in the first one. He played Quicksilver in X-Men. He's so pretty. He dated a guy who looked like him in the first American Horror Story. I almost said Amityville Horror. Ryan Reynolds is gorgeous too. But that guy. Okay, so basically Victor ignores everyone. Ignores his bride / stepsisters. Like, fucking, I don't got time for you. And she's just like, what the fuck's going on? And he's just, like, literally shutting people out of his life. Not metaphorically. Like, he's just, like, holed up in his fucking, like, loft in Europe or whatever. And he finally figures out how to bring the dead back to life. No, not like a zombie. Fucking have Sheldon from Big Bang Theory argue that shit with you. So, whatever. Okay. Oh, wait. Is this the... Let's read this. Let's see if I can read this. Okay. As I fixed my eyes on the child, I saw something glittering on his breast. I took it. It was a portrait... Oh, no! Of a most lovely woman. In spite of my malignity, it softened and attracted me. For a few moments I gazed with delight on her dark eyes, fringed by deep lashes, and her lovely lips, but presently my rage returned. I remembered that I was forever deprived of the delights that such beautiful creatures could bestow, and that she, wholesome resemblance I contemplated would, in regarding me, have changed that air of divine benignity to one expressive of disgust and affright. Can you wonder that such thoughts transported me with rage? I only wonder that at that moment, instead of venting my sensations in exclamations in agony, I did not rush among mankind and perish with the attempt to destroy them. This novel is so beautifully written, so eloquent. While I was overcome by these feelings, I left the spot where I had committed the murder, and seeking a more secluded hiding place, I entered a barn which had appeared to be empty. A woman was sleeping on some straw. She was young, not indeed so beautiful as her whose portrait I held, but of an agreeable aspect, and blooming in the loveliness of youth and health. Here, I thought, is one of those whose joy and parting smiles are bestowed on all but me. Because again, so like the monster finds that because he is ugly and hideous, not of everyone else normalcy and mankind, that everyone will regard him as hideous and a monster and want nothing to do with him, no matter what his good intentions are. Here I thought is one of... Wait, I said that already, right? Yeah. And then I bent over her and whispered, "Awake, fairest, thy lover is near. He who would give his life but to obtain one look of affection from thine eyes. My beloved, awake." Okay, so like here we're already at where like Victor made the monster, was like, fuck this shit, get out. The monster was just like, okay, I'm gone. And Victor's like, well, I'm just gonna roll over and go back to bed and hope that doesn't come back and kill everybody I've ever loved or cared about. By the way, that's what happens. Okay, so, and then the monster's fucking pissed. Okay, so he runs into these fucking people in the woods. Let me see if, oh yeah, see? Cursed creator, why did I live? Why in that instant did I not extinguish the spark of existence which you had so wantonly bestowed? I know not. Despair had not yet taken possession of me. My feelings were those of rage and revenge. You can get some motherfucking revenge. I could with pleasure have destroyed the cottage and its inhabitants and have gluttoned myself with their shrieks and misery. What were their fucking names? So the monster, like, fucking hauls up in this, like, barn or some shit near this cabin of this family. I swear it starts with a D. And then, like, he learns to read and learns English because there's this foreign chick who stays with them that this dude wants to marry. And, like, he teaches her English. And so that's how the monster learns. And then the monster had fucking, like, pocketed Victor's monster diary and shit. And so, like, once he learns English and how to read, he reads the journal. And, like, you know, he's got to have some fucking words with his creator because he's a fuck. Like, Victor Frankenstein is a complete douchebag. Like, he was a douchebag before the term douchebag emerged. I wonder what Mary Shelley would think of that. God, what are their names? Started with a D. Whatever. So the D family in the woods, whatever. He learns from them. He protects them. The monster, like, has got their back. And then, like, he goes to meet the blind father, and he's like, dude, thanks. But then, like, when people who aren't blind can see the monster, they're like, dude, fucking stop trying to kill our dad. And he's like, I wasn't trying to kill your dad. And I'm like, you totally were, because you're fucking weird looking and scary and creepy. So then, like, they peace out on the monster. So the monster has been abandoned by its creator in this family who the monster is fucking taking care of. So the monster's like, fuck this, I'm gonna kill, like, everybody that Victor loved. So I think he fucking killed Justine, Victor's, like, cousin or some shit first, and then, like, blamed it on somebody else, and then that person dies, and then Victor's like, oh, you love Elizabeth? Your adopted fucking sister and shit? Well, I'm gonna fucking take her too, unless you make me a lady monster. And then he's like, okay, I'll make you a lady monster. And then that's when I talked about him, like, look, the monster looking down, being like all creepy, smiling, like, oh, it's so hard. You're give me a lady monster. And then Victor's like, this is a horrible idea. I'm gonna rip her right apart in front of the monster, and nothing bad will happen to me. So, like, then the monster is like, fuck this shit. I'm tired of your shit, Victor. Fuck you, and fuck your fucking family, and fuck Elizabeth. And the monster fucking kills Elizabeth, and then Victor's like, fuck you. And they have this, like, bro fight. Hold on, let me see where I'm at. Frankenstein, you belong then to my enemy, to him towards whom I have sworn eternal revenge, and you shall be my first victim. I feel like that's not true. He definitely wasn't his first victim. Oh yeah, that's when it kills Justine. We already read that. So then they're in an all-out battle, but Victor's kind of a pussy, so he takes off and, like, fucking runs, and that's how he runs into that fucking dude at the beginning of the story I told you about, who was, like, going to find, like, the North Pole or Santa or the Arctic. What the fuck is North? Not the South Pole. So the Arctic? Guys, I'm an English major, not history or geography. Okay. So Monster's like, I'm fucking killing Elizabeth. Fuck that bitch. Fiend. See is his grave. Where are we at? Deformity. Yep. I have no idea where I'm at in this book. The wretch saw me tore to pieces. Wait. The wretch saw me destroy the creature on whose future existence he depended for happiness, and with a howl of devilish despair and revenge withdrew. I was overcome by the sensation of helplessness so often felt in frightful dreams. Okay, so Victor just fucking killed fucking the monster's potential significant other, which segues us to into the Bride of Frankenstein. Oh yeah, and then the monster, like, before this, the monster, like, sat down and had a heart-to-heart, and he's so eloquent and beautiful. Okay. The voyage came to an end. We landed and proceeded to Paris. I soon found that I had overtaxed my strength and that I must repose before I could continue my journey. My father's care and attentions were indefatigable, but he did not know the origin of my sufferings and sought erroneous methods to remedy the incurable ill. I have no idea what's going on in the story right now. Hold on. Let me figure this out. I'm just reading the things I underlined at this point. I should be supposed mad, and in itself would forever have chained my tongue. But besides, I could not bring myself to disclose a secret which would fill my hearer with consternation and make fear and unnatural horror inmates of his breast. I checked, therefore, my impatient thirst for sympathy, and was silent when I would have given the world to have confided that fatal secret. I feel like he's fucking talking to the ship dude who found him because he was fucking out wandering and, like, you know, not having a good time running from the monster. Whatever. Carried a pistol and daggers and fucking secrets. He loves Elizabeth. Okay, so basically, like, fucking Victor's a douche. And he did not think about the consequences or repercussions of what he was doing. And so, fucking payback's a bitch. And the story ends with the monsters supposedly killing Victor and going out to sea, and probably both of them dying together. So, creator and creation go out in flames. Guys, it's almost 1. My energy patch is wearing off. Dinners are only supposed to last 8 hours. I'll take it off. I had it on since 8 this morning. So, like, basically, this is the whole God complex. I wrote a paper and presented on this and Ex Machina or Machina. I prefer Machina, but whatever. Probably Ex Machina. People who want to create things and then don't realize the consequences and repercussions, and they're like, oh fuck, what did I just do? What did I create? Like, this is horrible. So just because you have an idea doesn't mean it's a good idea. But in the fucking ship dude, whose name I forgot, Walton? W guy, the W ship guy. So he, like, writes his sisters, like, fuck, people have died, like, this is a horrible idea, I'm a selfish fucking prick, I'm gonna turn around, my fucking dude that I had a bro crush on, like, this monster guy came and took him, and they're gone, and probably dead, and so I should probably turn back before I make the fucking same mistakes. So, like, that ship guy learned from Victor's bullshit mistakes. And Victor's a fucking narcissist, little childish bitch. Basically, all I can say, like, somebody didn't raise him right. I don't know what the hell his dad did or said, but I guess you can't be held responsible. Like, maybe his dad did his best. And Victor just fucking turned out to be a douche. Because, I mean, you can lead a man to water, but something about his horse drinking. Like, what if his horse just chooses not to drink? Like, I had a gerbil or a hamster or some shit for my daughter, and he had a little water thing, and he just wouldn't drink, and he died. And so it's like, why didn't you drink your water? What's your problem? And he died because of it. So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And so, like, maybe Victor, Frankenstein's dad, did the best he could, and Victor's just fucking an idiot and a douche. And let's not marry our step-siblings, especially because the only step-sibling I have is a girl, and I'm not attracted to her, so it doesn't work out in my favor. Also, I would not like a monster to rip my fucking heart out, like, on my wedding day, so if we can avoid that, that'd be great. My point is, first of all, rosé is just not good. It's not. Second of all, Frankenstein is one of the best novels I have ever read. Ever. It's so smart and eloquent, and I wish I was able to write something at her age, but I also wasn't surrounded by as influential people at her age either. So that's like a fail on my parents' part, right? My dad led me to books, but I didn't drink. I mean, I'm drinking now. Maybe it'll get me somewhere. So I hope you've enjoyed our drunk literature recap, synopsis, summary of Frankenstein and how smart and good it is. Like, it's so smart and good. It's one of my favorite books. That and Chuck Palahniuk's Survivor and Invisible Monsters. I mean, they're completely different. Both really fucked up. Really good writing. Somebody fucking send me a bottle of Roscato, because this fucking rosé, it's terrible. Where's my recycling? I think it's right next to me. I'm gonna set that down on the floor. Okay, guys, if you have any comments or questions, I fucking don't care about your comments unless it's agreeing with me. If you have any questions, let me know. And let me know if you want me to answer them drunk or sober. Drunk is probably more fun. Rosé does not get better. Okay. Peace out from your Frankenstein scholar.